going, everybody? So I was going to talk about the tier list. It changed if you download Pedro's mod, and I guess I love this game, man. Twisted Metal 4, favorite of the 4 games. Like, blows everything else out of the water in every other game. Every aspect of this game, I love the movement. Oh, look at that. It's just sick. I love this game. I let it be known, fun on the Reddit, the friggin' Discord, and, playing Pedro's mod is like a breath of fresh air. Like, this game changes when you play the mod. It feels well balanced, it feels like everything's fine-tuned, but for those who didn't really like the slowdown on the time to kill, Pedro outdid himself in this. Like, really, I don't know where I'd be right now. I'd probably be playing the original game, but he really tuned things up. Any character that felt bad is now not only viable, but they feel very well made. It feels like they have a character of all of their own. Like, the slam characters are still similar, but they've got their own aspects. I just wanted to go over, basically, the ins and outs, the ups and downs. Let everybody know what they're getting into and why they should download this mod, especially if they didn't like Twisted Metal 4 to begin with. This is the one for you. So let's get this started. So this is my tier list. We're going basically by a threat level based on, not only yourself, but the AIs and what you have to deal with. So we've got threat level maximum, superior, varies, which is basically, saying it depends on who's playing the character. We got moderate, low mid, non-existent, dookie, and nothing to do, which means there's nothing you can do with them. But there is not a single character that I think will even go into the low mid, but I'll have to check it out. He really did a good job at changing these stats, because there were a couple dookies in the original list that I made. So I think I'm just gonna start going down these fellas and let you know how it goes. So Captain Grant, man, my God, he is in the superior range already. Like, he didn't change his speed one bit. It's just like Mr. Grimm usually has a 4 speed. I mean, now it feels like a 3 speed because 4 speed's like 165, but I'll talk more about that in a second. But let me show you something. These are the new specs for every character. They dropped his health by about 825, made it feel a bit more like Mr. Grimm, on tune with, the rebalancing, and his special damage was ramped up all the way to 3000. So to give you an idea, if it was a mirror match, you'd be two-shotting yourself, not including the fire damage. That also ticks away pretty good. The regen time was dropped from 120 to 40 seconds, so you get it back way faster. Now, you can only fire him as fast as you could before. His speed remained unchanged. Now, the knockback was increased substantially, so you send him flying. The X factor, which is, horizontal plane, is 7,000, and they changed the Y factor, so it's less of an upward bounce. In the cannonball, it flies now. Now, I wanted to mention this. Like, I was gonna make a separate little short about this, but, I'll throw it in there in case, somebody wants to see it. Okay. Now, if you have the increased special attack damage modification and the faster weapons, which makes them move faster, Mr. Grimm has this little weird glitch, I guess with the mod. I'm not sure if it's with just the mod or the actual game itself, where he does this. That was me firing my special attack, straightforward, no rear attack. But it gets cooler, since it's still necessarily a frontward attack, because I'm hitting L2, not R2. It sends them in the direction that you're meant to fire in. So let's say I freeze him, and I fire it off, sends him flying forward. I honestly like it. I don't want it to change, but it kind of has to change, I guess, because it's necessarily a glitch, but I'd say keep it the same. It's just the cheat codes. Oh, and if you're wondering, if you use rear attack, yes, it does go forward, and it sends them flying backwards. I'll have to show yeah, so since it's a rear attack, it would send them backwards even though it's going forward. So, if I do a rear attack, it shoots forward, it sends them backwards. That's cool, right? Like, if I hit him again, he's gonna die, but you get the idea. You shoot a rear attack, goes forward, but it sends them backwards, but it's only with both cheats active, I do believe. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought, let's check out the damage. So that's where Mr. Grimm belongs. Now I want to get on to Calypso. He belongs up here, maximum. Now, I don't care, like, what you say about his health getting dropped. I'll explain that right now. 2 seconds, So, Calypso, his health is dropped from 11,000 to 8,000. So it was a pretty massive drop. His armor is no longer a 5, it's more like a 3.5 per se. Speed didn't change, but look at that. The explosion damage, the buff was 200% and 17% for the ray, which is basically if you hit them in the middle, it neutralizes their health. It melts them. The area was doubled, so it's easier to get that 5,400 damage. And if you hit them with the ray, there's not many cars that can survive that shot. Now I just have to show you guys. I love it. So here we are. We got Micro Blast is a good first contestant to test this on. Insta kill. That wasn't even direct. I think that was just the burn damage. But as you can also see, Calypso is pretty fragile now. He's a very fragile target. But I'm gonna say this now. I feel like, Pedro might have got this wrong. No offense to your brother Pedro, you did good. But I don't know if it's just me. I feel like they were fast, or slower. I feel like these big cars were slower. Like, I don't remember Calypso going, above 80, 90 miles per hour. But now he can go up to 110. I don't know. That's probably just me. I'm rambling now, but. I will also mention the weapons changed, so they feel very effective. There's not a single weapon I will not use in this mod. We used to skip on things like the speed missiles, the mortars felt pretty underwhelming, which they don't now, by the way. They're pretty effective. Even if you're just lobbing them, easy damage. The Merv is a monster. It's the new auto lob. The auto lob has less of a launch. As you can see, easy kills. I'm gonna kill myself with this real quick. Happy day. Now Goggle Eye's got more armor, which I'll mention in just a bit, but I think he's a good example of who I should use to damage test this nuke, like actually damage test it. Look at that. He's got the health that Calypso had, before the patches pretty much, before the mods by Pedro. So that kind of damage, unreal for a regular car. Well, I mean, he's Calypso, he's not a regular car. You gotta love those homing missiles. Yep, that is why he belongs in the maximum threat level. Quattro. I've been kissing his ass from day one and defending him in the original game, which I still feel like he's at least a superior threat. You just have to know how to use him. Now, he's going in maximum. Need I say more? He's Quattro. People don't understand that ability of his, even in the original game. He used to push people off of you. He's a small car. You want to get people away from you as far as possible. It's not supposed to do damage. It's supposed to buy you some room, so you can start dumping missiles on people. It's something to get you out of the headspace. You don't have to think to use it. And now, with Pedro's mod, I can't put him down. Pedro's mod, he is now a mindless killing machine. Let me tell you something. He did my boy Quattro good. Check this out. He went down on health by 825. He got 12 extra kilometers per hour. I didn't mind the extra speed. He got a bit bigger area, so 25%. But that damage might not be as high as Captain Grimm. But now it's not just to get the hell off of me skill. Now this thing, it destroys. If you catch someone landing on you with this special attack, it just feels like it does way more than that. You do start with the less, but you also can stalk more. So, 35 seconds, way buffed on the regen time. You get him back like that, like snap, snap, snappity snap. He gets him back way too fast. Now, I'm not going to be playing Quattro, other than the intro that I did. I'm not playing him for any other particular reasons. You're going to see me do more Quattro in the future videos, because he's going to be who I'm going to be mainly playing. That's my boy Quattro. He's gonna stay up there at maximum, and he ain't going nowhere in my heart or my mind. Now we got Goggle Eyes. Goggle Eyes, it varies. Now, it's not because he's a better or worse character. He is better. He is better. Stats time. So he got a little bit more health at, 604, no, 770. I know how to math. It's only a 77.5% increase, but that puts him more on par with the 4-star health. His speed stayed the same. He still handles kind of sluggishly. Now, his special damage is unknown to Pedro, so since he couldn't find the damage, the exact damage stats, he couldn't really work on him. I guess he added more duration, which in turn gives it more damage, and he lowered the delay time. So if you can keep someone frozen, you can dump out multiple specials back to back. So as soon as it ends, you can get another one going, so there's no delay. You don't have to stop the damage, and from what I've noticed, it does about 16% more damage. Here, damage testing, my guys. So I'm gonna let you be the judge. Mr. Grimm does have less health than usual, but here goes the green tots with machine guns. That looks higher to me. That looks like higher damage. About 17% from what I've noticed. But it's 17%, man, and he can just kick them off back to back. Come on, you'd have to be stupid not to say that's a good improvement. He's just better all around. Varies is where he's gonna stay. I feel like that's a comfortable position for him. I like him. There's nothing wrong with him, man. Pedro did him good. Now we got Meter Maid. I wanna say Meter Maid is. I mean, I can't have too many maximums. I'm gonna say it varies also with Meter Maid, because Meter Maid is she's a bit of a confusing character, in the first place. So my guy Pedro, he did something different with Meter Maid. He dropped her health down a little bit. She's got a lot more damage. You'll actually notice the damage when you do it. I'm not going to play Meter Maid. You just have to find out yourself and see the damage. But the Steel Energy, it heals you a lot more. The duration was dropped a bit, but you can tether 3 people now. The range is increased by almost double. I'd need to, get some controllers together and, show everyone exactly how far the range is, but you'll notice it. Like, I was feeling it playing the tournament. Like, she was grabbing me from, out here and out there. But, the durations dropped a bit, but the damage has increased a lot, and the healing, 800%, like, you can't beat that. And the regen time is 50 seconds, dropped even more. The only problem is you don't start with any special attacks. But I mean, why would you need a healing special attack right at the start anyway? That's why I say it varies. It depends on the person. Do you want your specials right off the bat? Don't play Meter Maid. But, if you can wait for it and you want to play a really good character that has, superior healing, you like Outlaw, Meter Maid's your go-to. She's fragile, but she's fast, she's small, and she's got that 50-second regen time. There's other people that have shorter times than that, but you're going to be healing yourself like no tomorrow. I think Meter Maid stays in the varied location. Good location for Meter Maid, by the way. General Warthog. After the machine gun upgrades, man, he belongs in Superior. He's a monster, dude. He is a monster. By the way, we're putting Microblast in maximum. I'll explain that in a second. But Superior, just the size of his Ion Blast is stagnant. Now, he only got a 0.004% increase on health, but, Pedro wanted to even the numbers out. Felt kind of weird having you die to strange things, having a magic pixel and all that. But the damage to his special attack, 96% increased. Like, the damage for me was alright, like, I didn't mind it, but, with the new time to kill changes, it had to change. And, there's a character that kills faster than Sweet Tooth now. I'll get into that on the boss video, because I'm doing a separate boss video for the tiers, but they're all good. Now, the area, 25,088. That 53% increase sounds small, but it's not. Trust me, it is not. It is humongous. he put a fair 90-second cooldown on this skill because it just wrecks. And with the machine gun upgrades and that widespread of 4 machine guns that General Warthog has, he is a destructive force to be reckoned with. So I'm gonna show you exactly what this man can do. Ignore that ram damage. He gave us ram damage, by the way. Boom, man. Almost all the health, and it sent us both flying. Now, I'm going to give you an idea of what the range is right now. This thing sends people to the promised land. Check this out. Oh, was that not enough range? Wasn't the maximum damage, but like, look at him, he's halfway dead. And he was about 3-4 car lengths away at least. Decent sized car lengths. And like I said, Pedro feels like he made everyone a bit faster, but I could be wrong. I definitely feel like my turbo's a bit faster. He's got a bit more control. You know, I just feel like he's a really good character. And that special, even though it's got such a long cooldown, he belongs there in the superior area. I'm gonna be quick with Micro Blast. There's the stats. Pedro dropped in 22% health. His special damage, 194% damage increase. The delay was dropped from 409 to 100, so it fires a lot faster, 4 times faster to be precise. The initial amount you have is a bit less, but you can add more, and your regen time's a second less. And, by the way, this is what he does with his special now. So yeah, Micro Blast is goated. That's a boss, and I'm gonna give you a heads up, the boss has got increased health, like, fairly increased, so I just halfway killed him. Let's see if 6 Gatlingers can do it. Pretty much, yeah. 6 Gatlingers. Goated. Sorry to those fans of Micro Blast that wanted a bit more time spent on him, but there's not much to spend, he is just a monster now. Now the Joneses, they believe it or not, dude, I don't even know why I made these lower ranks. They're superior now. Like, I mean, you know, I'll put it in varies, because they're still slow, but they do more damage. Let me bring you over to this this good old patch note setup here. So the Joneses, they got a bit more health. They're still 130 miles per hour, which we, like I established, is about a 3 speed now. But the homing missile damage, we've got 500, 750, and 1,000, leading to 2250 in total. Look at those increases. Do I even need to give you the exact numbers? His damage got increased substantially, and the homing was also increased to where it feels like you can't miss with them. I've had these things turn corners on people. The regen again dropped to 50 seconds. He feels like the actual Warthog in the game, and like his damage just shows for it. In fact, yeah, well, an example. Right here. Look at that damage. For just a regular garden variety Warthog type of special, it actually does real damage to bosses now instead of that tickling business that it liked to do before. No more French tickling here. In fact, I think you could send him to the promised land with about a good 5 of these if it's an average character. If you're talking about a weaker character, about 3. Oh, I should also mention, you know, just the feel of all the, you know, the new ways the weapons work. It actually makes every character feel more entertaining to play. It gives you more, you know, versatility. It gives you, you know, more movement options. Like when I can go bam, 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 bam. And dump a bunch of homing missiles on poor Super Slam. Look at him struggling to get up. The napalms feel better, but you know, I'm gonna get into the weapons, you know, a bit more in another video, just on extra things that have changed, because they are important. The rain is important. I think I've already mentioned this. That's just how good this mod is. I've been grinding it like ruthlessly, and I've been enjoying every bit of it. Pedro really outdid himself. Like it's seriously. So yeah, the Joneses. Good character, very good character, but I put them in berries mainly just because of the speed discrepancy. We'll have to bounce around, and he still killed himself. So he's gonna stay in the varied area. Now, Drag Queen, just because Super Thumper exists, and you know the Goggle Eyes exists, and I feel like he's a safer option. I'm gonna put in the moderate. No one is going lower than moderate though. Heads up. Now, Drag Queen, I also put him there because it's a joke in bad taste. Like, there's a lot of people dying nowadays. Like, it aged poorly, the joke. Like, I've heard everybody saying it on YouTube, but really it did. Like, just a bad joke. But the character, the car, that's a whole different story. So he dropped Drag Queen's health down to 7,000, and I'm gonna say Drag Queen's at a 5 speed now because Orbital's the only other car at 5 speed, and he goes 5 kilometers per hour faster. That's because he's driving, a Diamondback. I don't know what kind of vehicle it actually is, but the handling limit is basically if you're using turbo. It's how well you can handle it while you're using turbo and how well you can turn. He removed that limit, so you should have a bit. I'm not sure if it's a bit more difficult time or an easier time. Special damage. The duration was dropped, but the damage was increased very well, very well. So you do have a longer delay before you can use it again, which makes sense. You've got to balance it out somehow. You're cooking them alive, but you can still use other weapons while, the special is active. Like I said, you can do things like this, just freeze them and start popping shots. That was not a very good representation of damage. I'm just gonna fall and die. Okay, now I'm going to freeze him and actually dump some missiles onto him. Use the machine guns, etc. Just half his health and damage though, just about. It's better, like, it's good. I can actually see myself playing Drag Queen. Like, I actually have fun playing him now. Like, the speed's pretty good. Damage is good. It's a joke in bad taste. I'm not a big fan of the purple and yellow color combination. Sorry about that, Lakers. And, there's Thumper exists, Goggle Eyes exists. There's 2 other characters that already do it, but I feel like Goggle Eyes is better mainly because of the armor. He's someone that's built to be standing right in front of you, but to be fair, he can dip out. Drag Queen can dip out like that. So, Rob Zombie, this is the one that might hurt some people, and hurts me too, because I love the man. He is also a moderate. He is actually one of the cars that, got, some good, got some bad. So, check this out. Rob Zombie, he got his health dropped a bit over a full 1,000, but he got faster. He moves 140 kilometers per hour now, which I noticed. Now, his lightning damage dropped a bit, but his skull damage increased, substantially. The explosion hurts a lot more. The area of explosion's bigger. It still sets you on fire. The knockback is good. Like, it sends you flying up in the air. And the skull duration was dropped a lot, though. That's a big thing for people, because they love to dump lobs on, enemy cars when they're pulled in. Now, you can pull in double the amount. You can pull in 4 now, and the force is even stronger, so, it's harder for people to escape. For me, it feels almost non-existent. You have to be far enough away and turboing in a certain direction, otherwise it pulls you in. That was a buff. Now, I'm not sure what the infinite lightning duration exactly means, because once it blows up, but the skull duration was dropped, so you can't drop auto lobs, but it does more damage. You do get them back every 50 seconds, and the max is increased by 2, but the delay for using it is still pretty high, like, well after you've used it. For example, if you fired one off, the delay based on the original skull duration, you could fire off another about not even a second after the first one, but now you have to wait, quite a bit of time because it blows up sooner. Now, the reason I put them in moderate instead of, extreme, or, varying, is because, every other character got buffed. Every other character feels like they've got their own edge. He is very dangerous, but, when bot vehicles are playing him, I just don't feel like I'm in much danger. I feel like he might need a bit of a buff, like bump him back up to 8,000 health, maybe make the duration about 1,200 or 12,000 instead of 10,000. Add a little bit more time for launching shots onto people that are grasped. Other than that, he feels good. Like, I like the change to the damage. I like that it lobs him up in the air. Like I've gotten a couple kills auto lobbing after they blow up, and they just dip onto him in the sky to where I can't even see them getting hit. and they've gotten blown up. I've killed a boss like that, and I killed a regular car like that. It feels awesome. But, in my opinion, he feels, moderate compared to everyone else with their drastic changes. It is drastic, but I don't have enough time to dump missiles. Like, I can dump an auto lob and a fire missile or two, but just an extra little window just to get more damage in, maybe a bit more lightning damage. And the change to the lightning number was perfect. I mean, 3 would have been awesome, but 4, like, my god, like, you get everybody stuck in one place, you could wipe out everybody in 1 or 2 auto lobs, but you need that extra little window to get a second auto lob at least thrown out, so it'll start landing even if they start scattering. It's still good, though, like, Pedro did a good job. I just feel like he's in a moderate position for me. So Rob Zombie's moderate. Where's that leave Orbital? Varies on the player. I never liked playing Orbital. I don't know why. I don't know why people did, but he got changes. Also, I'm sorry this went way out of whack. I'm gonna get on the bosses tomorrow, but let me just say they got a lot of changes too. Orbital, he got a little bit more health, even though, he's the fastest car in the game. He moves at 185 kilometers now, so he drives faster than he has ever driven before. Now, his duration for his lightning ball, it's 18,000, so you're gonna notice it's stuck on the ground a lot longer, which means you're gonna have to change your timing for using a shield if you get stuck in it. But it's good to leave down there a bit longer, I guess, for people, because, you get a better chance of snagging somebody. Now, what Pedro did do really well with this, I mean, he did everything really well, but what I like in particular is the delay. So before, the duration, it would be gone way before he could launch another. But with Pedro's mod, you can launch 4 orbs before one blows up. So if you start missing it, you can launch another, or if you want to snag them onto 2 different ones, so you can just dump missiles left and right, you can do that. Like, if you want to keep people stuck in a certain area, lock a place down. I found a lot of applications for this. Orbital, he just feels crazy to play, but he's still just not my guy. I will give an example real quick, by the way, because I feel like that's the right thing to do. Now, heads up, I don't want to use cheat codes, because I'm too lazy, but I've got 2 Tele Orbs. I'm going to show you just how fast you can launch them out repetitively, and I'm going to show you his speed, because it's just phenomenal. There's 1, there's 2, he's going to be stuck there for a while. It's just ridiculous. Now, here's the speed test. As you can see, I can go, at the 180 threshold, 185 if I give it a chance. What's that? 235. He is even faster and controls even better than he did before. He is a speed demon. If you want to play a speed demon, maybe this is your guy. The other cars feel really fast, but, everybody feels faster in this mod, but in particular, Quattro just feels like, I play him more now than I did before, getting this mod. Like, I actually play Quattro. I mean, not Quattro, Orbital. Dude, I do make that mistake, even though Quattro's my boy. I'll start calling Orbital Quattro, but never Quattro Orbital. That's just it. I can't make the mistake for my boy and fellow Quattro and Orbital. The brain scrambled. Check it out, don't wanna. Yeah, he's good, I like him. He's just not my cup of tea yet, so it varies. Last 3 is my boy Pizza Boy. Shout outs to the man, the myth, the legend. He knows who I'm talking about, and you guys do too. And his boy Pizza Boy, our boy Pizza Boy, is a maximum threat level. I don't think I need to explain why to those who played the mod, but I need to explain to everyone else. I'll just show the stats screen real quick. So he got less health, he got more speed, which actually feels nice on him. His control is superior, but his pizza blades, they got a 212% increase. They do 1,000 damage each, ramping up to 2,000 damage. And the homing, man, it feels like they can hunt you down. And the delay on them was already pretty short, back in the original game, but now you can launch them, back to back to back. So if you build up just about 5 of these, you can kill bigger cars and dump them out in rapid succession. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably even faster than I was just counting. you can save up to 10 pizza blades. It's 20,000 damage. Now Sweet Tooth's health in this mod is 22,000. So you know, you do the math that you can dump out 10 of these very fast and basically neutralize his health. You just have to shoot him with a power missile. And that's the list, everyone. I'm gonna be doing the boss list later on. I hope everybody has a good day. Keep it coming. Oh, and thank you, by the way, Pedro, for, man, you made this kick ass. Like, this, I've been grinding this game harder than I ever did before, and I already ground it up more than any other Twisted Metal game. So you outdid yourself, man. Don't forget about that Captain Grimm thing. Like, I like it how it is, but if you feel like you need to change it, then it's out there. But there's the list. Take it easy and breezy, my friends. I'll meet you in the promised land. On the next video. Keep them coming, my guys.